Is it possible the ghostwriter dislikes Harry? I know people who know him. I've heard interesting things about him. I know he's, as I have said previously, very into the 12-step program and the whole druggy alky business. It is not the job of a ghostwriter to do anything but put the thoughts of the incompetent who requires a ghostwriter.
Which is very revelatory, as you know, about Meghan and Harry. I got absolutely no help from the palace whatsoever, on the contrary.
I think more people want something in-depth in terms of the review of the Tom Bower book than don't. So some people just wanted one episode, other people want more.
I choose people who don't want to be written about, on the whole, whose lives are shrouded in mystery, and they want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us.
I personally think there are times when he should have. You are absolutely right. The book is littered with inconsistencies and anomalies, where Harry is on the one hand raging about people and how terrible they are because they are doing to him exactly what he is doing to someone else, but he's a wonderful person. But they're terrible. When I was pregnant, and Harry says, oh, there was a little discussion before we got married. Well, something's wrong right there. But anyway.
I think it's mixed. I think that once she saw Meghan when she came to London in 2016, 2018, and she reached out to Victoria to get freebies.
He had to admit that actually those stories had been published by other newspapers, days prior. And that's where they got the information from. Or the fact sometimes the palace released the information themselves and Prince Harry wasn't aware of it. Or the fact that, it was just sources and friends or people close to Prince Harry.
And I must say, it's always beyond Meghan. Meghan doesn't believe in reconciliation. Look at her appalling relationship with her father. She's a hard nut. All Samantha's questions from her lawyers, whether she lied about Samantha, about Thomas Markle in her notorious interview with Oprah Winfrey. So that's a major breakthrough for Samantha Markle, for Thomas Markle, and for the truth.
Prince Harry thought he could silence the critics. Instead, Lady Colin Campbell turned the volume all the way up. The moment news broke that Harry might sue Lady C and royal biographer Tom Bower, the story exploded. This wasn't just royal drama anymore. It was a storm of secrets, birth rumors, and legal threats that could tear the Sussex narrative apart.
Meghan left Britain and then did the Oprah Winfrey interview. It's been really poisonous. Mm-hmm. Well, he does it because he needs a profile. That's the only way they can get money, by showing the profile. And for Netflix, everything is built around the future documentary series to promote the Sussexes.
Is married to a professional journalist who was the editress of the Evening Standard.
Fondness for, shall we say, stretching the truth. Could the single case see Harry caught up in his own web of lies? Well, to answer this and much more, I'm delighted to welcome the world's top royal author. He, of course, published Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, Tom Bower. So, Tom, this feels like a significant development tonight. What's happening?
Well, if I was Meghan, I'd be undoubtedly very worried tonight. What the judge decides.
From viral baby bump clips to looming courtroom battles, this is the palace tea they never wanted spilled. Prince Harry is reportedly furious, and insiders say he's considering full legal action against Lady C and Bower. Why? Because both have openly questioned the unusual secrecy surrounding Archie and Lilibet's births. No soft words, no guessing, just gaps in timelines, missing photos, and a lack of official confirmations. That's not normal.
I was shocked to hear that. I mean, is that who he is?
Well, I think Harry is a very complicated person because he's not very intelligent and undoubtedly remains damaged by the early death of his mother, Diana. And he very foolishly blames the media for her, in his words, murdered her, which is complete nonsense. But I think he loved the adulation. He loved it when he was being praised, especially when he was a soldier. But then he became criticized. Meghan has got no real income anymore. She's finished.
Right.
The Netflix series is over. There's no great podcast. They don't generate any money. And I don't see where she is going from here. I think she has a major problem.
Why Meghan?
Well, because she posed a challenge to the royal family, and she's a fascinating person. I mean, she's a person who started from nothing and has become a world global star. And that route to the top has never really been properly reported and examined and investigated.
3 people noticed, and Harry did too. Sources say he lost his cool behind closed doors. This wasn't harmless gossip. It was a direct challenge to the Sussex story. Lady C and Bauer suggested Harry and Meghan didn't just share a narrative, they carefully engineered a public image, especially as money and influence came into play. And they're not backing down. These are seasoned exposé experts, ready to play hardball.
That Samantha only called herself Markle when Meghan was engaged to Harry, which Samantha says is a total lie. Interestingly, Samantha also says that Meghan's story about having a Ford Explorer where she could only get in through the boot was also untrue. She goes through a whole load of Meghan's lies. So by July, that is what the judge has said, these depositions, this cross-examination of Meghan will take place for the trial to start in October. So Meghan really has a problem because until today, her lawyers have been saying this is so ridiculous, we refuse to even engage with Samantha Markle. They stonewall.
He has more power than the courts and the king. That's what he's trying to do. He's getting the government to undermine the legal system and the institution of the monarchy. It couldn't be simpler. Harry has security when he comes to this country. It's assessed on a case-by-case basis. If he stays in a palace, and he's offered to stay in palaces, and refuses to do so, because he's trying to manipulate the system.
They claim to have receipts, documents, sources, testimonies, the kind of evidence that doesn't vanish under pressure. Lady C didn't flinch. "Sue me if you dare," she said. Legal experts warn that a court battle could force private records into the open, including those secretive birth documents. Once that door opens, there's no shutting it. Meanwhile, Buckingham Palace stayed silent, no denials, no clarifications, just the usual we don't engage in speculation. And online, silence speaks louder than words.
Had already recorded their poison for Netflix. It was already edited. All the stuff that we heard today about Charles lying, about William screaming and shouting, was in the can, was being edited.
I had always looked at it more as, oh, she landed this prince. That's what she was out for. We know that she was hunting for someone of wealth, of notoriety in Great Britain. And she landed, the biggest you could land. But it worked the other way too. He was feeling irrelevant. She comes along. She's a, somewhat well-known person, or at least that was his impression. And she's mixed race. She could elevate his star as well. It worked both ways.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, what I discovered was, of course, that she was hunting for a man in England from 2013 onwards. When her
silence only made the fire worse. Clips went viral, hashtags trended, and fans dissected Meghan's past pregnancies like investigators. If the Sussex story ends up in court, it could destroy credibility and tarnish their royal legacy. The more Harry tries to control the narrative, the more it seems to slip away. Then Bauer dropped his bombshell. Hospital records showed no trace of Meghan's births. That's not a red flag, it's a siren.
Bauer, where he doesn't go there. But he does go there as far as the fact that they wanted to keep the birth private and all the secrecy around that, and even the fact that
accusation not for Winfrey. Also, I think they're reserving that sort of attack for Meghan's own book, for which we must now look forward in a year's time or something.
I wonder, when you watched Meghan Markle speak out, what went through your mind?
Public service, it's a bright, sharp, hot spotlight, and most people don't understand it, nor should they. The thing that I always keep in mind is that none of this is about us in public service. It's about the people that we serve. I always try to push the light back out and focus it on the folks that we're actually here to serve.
Lady C didn't hold back. She hinted that missing records could point to something bigger: surrogacy. She scrutinized viral baby bump clips, claiming the movement didn't match a real pregnancy. And this time, the public listened. What was once fringe gossip became mainstream conversation. For Harry, that's a nightmare. Once millions start questioning the legitimacy of his children's births, the carefully curated Sussex image could collapse overnight.
I had to admit that actually those stories had been published by other newspapers, days prior, and that's where they got the information from. Or the fact sometimes the palace released information themselves and Prince Harry wasn't aware of it, or the fact that, it was just sources and friends or people close to Prince Harry.
These are words which he has rehearsed and which he's delivering to make a point, to make his own fortune. And of course, the casualty is not only the royal family, but Britain's reputation too. Across the world, it is really quite tragic that he's been allowed and encouraged to make these sort of allegations, which has no evidence. And of course, full of contradictions, dishonest. Harry, whereas he's come over, he didn't stay after the funeral, he didn't stay after the coronation. I think he's come because his father clearly asked him to come, but I don't see any sign of forgiveness from the other members of the family for the terrible lies and disloyalty which he's shown.
The twist. Lady C and Tom Bower insist this isn't about clout. Their claims come from real sources, internal palace records, and eyewitness accounts. One even dropped a cryptic line later validated by an RBC no explanation, no follow-up, but serious enough to make viewers pause. And they didn't stop at birth questions. Bower went after Harry's security claims, finances, and even the way he and Meghan handled their royal exit. According to him, the media wasn't just reporting they were being used to control the Sussex story. But now that control looks like it's slipping. How did Harry respond? Denial, defamation threats, lawyers called in, and then Lady C delivered her ultimate mic drop. Calm, confident, unbothered. Let him sue me, she said. That confidence landed hard with viewers tired of seeing critics silent.
Harry is definitely delusional. He's always had tendencies to delusions. We need to cut him some slack with the possibility, as I have said before, that he might have been born, shall we say, handicapped. Certainly, he's no brain box. On the contrary, it doesn't help that he doesn't have a mind to be in with, and that he's out of the mind he doesn't have. But the impertinence, the arrogance, is truly beyond belief. Because really, what did that dowry offer constitute? Oh, it was meant to give the message that, I want to be wonderful. I don't want to upstage Pa or Big Willie, but I need you to know how important I am. So I will make the offer, as if Harry and Meghan's engagements are now going to set the agenda for the royal family.
Lady C warned that a courtroom showdown could backfire on Harry, exposing far more than he anticipates. Meanwhile, online, one question grows louder. What is he really afraid of? Royal insiders say this isn't just a PR problem, it's a high-stakes crisis. Titles, inheritance, even the monarchy's future could be affected if the legitimacy of Archie and Lilibet's births comes into question. With two veteran authors ready to take evidence to court, this isn't tabloid gossip anymore. This could ripple far beyond scandal. It could shake the foundations of royal tradition itself.
Meghan, she's ambitious, she's good-looking, she is determined, she succeeded in getting a good script with suits and everything, and in the end she succeeded in getting a man who built her up, who she was looking for all along. But on the other hand, on the way, there were many victims. And I think that the victims are obviously the people I looked for, because she did her very best to prevent her friends and the people she'd worked with.
Why else are you being sort of suspicious and secretive around labor and birth? And people theorized and claimed that the couple needed time to stage a story because Meghan didn't actually deliver the children.
Harry doesn't have the brains, and Meghan has the ability. Not enough brains to have figured out that being too clever by half is stupid by whole, but enough brains to think, well, I'm so clever, I can outsmart everybody. And anybody who gets to see what I'm about, sorry, I forgot, the hands have to flash. After all, she is a member of, well, isn't she the woman from La Mancha? Windmills everywhere. You notice she's gone quiet on Instagram for about a month now. There was a whole load of postings when she was pushing the narrative that I'm a great success.
Bauer didn't hold back. On air, he said his team quietly checked the hospital records, San HTA Barbara Cottage Hospital and London's Portland Hospital, where Meghan supposedly gave birth. According to him, nothing. No proof, no paperwork, no trace. If the births happened there, they happened invisibly, he said. The internet exploded. Fans dissected old pregnancy footage like forensic investigators, slowing clips, replaying movements, noting details that didn't look natural. What was once dismissed as wild conspiracy suddenly felt plausible.
Pregnancy video that made the entire world cringe from secondhand embarrassment, or talking about her experiences on podcasts or things like that, or just posting a lot more pictures. It has drawn a lot of attention to the controversies surrounding her kids, her pregnancies, how the children came into the world, the whole thing. Everything she's done has only drawn more speculation and brought the controversies back up about how Meghan and Harry have handled all of this, as well as the rumors that perhaps they used a surrogate.
Harry, I said it before and I'm saying it again. Harry and Meghan's marriage is in big trouble. Yes, she reeled him back in when she needed him performing like a performing seal. And yes, he obliged. And yes, there was a pretense that everything was okay. And I'm sure she put on that Stan Getz record for Harry so that he would be convinced that the greatest pleasures in life are when you're blowing in the wind. Well, unless, of course, you're roasting chicken. But
Lady C added fuel to the fire. Royal birth, she said, follows strict rules, doctors named, hospital steps photographed, formal announcements released. With Archie and Lilibet, none of that happened. That wasn't an accident, it was deliberate. Public doubts about Harry and Meghan only grew louder, especially with Buckingham Palace offering the usual, "We don't engage in speculation" statement. No denials, no clarifications. Bauer went further, tying these birth questions to the Sussex strategy. When cornered, claims of racism and security fears were allegedly weaponized to silence critics. That shield, he argues, is now cracking.
Oh, on the contrary, I think she's a very scheming, very clever woman. No, I think the surprising thing, at the end of the book, I realized how successful she'd been. Here was a woman who was nothing. I mean, born, broken family, the whole thing, an unknown actress, all the rest of it, becomes a global star, which is what she wanted.
That 2025 was going to be the year of the Markle sparkle. And maybe she would say in the last few weeks, as she's accepting a Humanitarian of the Year award, she might say, see, but for the most part, I didn't see that.
Harry loses his patience from time to time with Meghan. Remember some time ago I told you that he said he'd regretted ever having married her and that things were really bad between them, and then she reeled him back in? Well, as I've said before, and I say it again, when hunger comes in through the door, love goes out the window. And although I would not say that their marriage is definitively over at this point, Harry made it absolutely clear he's had enough. And what did Harry do?
Bauer pointed to their Netflix deals and book contracts as proof of mounting financial pressure, arguing that Harry and Meghan need the money more than ever. He suggested their once polished image is cracking, with fewer allies willing to defend them publicly. Any doubt about their children doesn't just hurt the Sussex brand, it threatens the entire empire they built post-royal life. Lady C went even further, accusing Meghan of marrying Harry for status and wealth, only to discover he wasn't nearly as rich as she expected. Critics have latched onto this, questioning whether the couple's media projects are about mission or survival. Legal analysts warn that a lawsuit could open doors Harry has spent years trying to keep closed. Court isn't just a threat anymore. It's a gamble, and a risky one.
So 2025 was the beginning of something very, very exciting for her, because not least With Love Meghan was going to appear a few weeks into the new year. And then, of course, it all goes wrong. But on that day, New Year's Day, she could only hope, well, it's a new year, it can only get better. Meghan made that accusation, not Oprah Winfrey. Also, I think they're reserving that sort of attack for Meghan's own book, for which we must now look forward in a year's time or something.
Exactly.
But I do think it's very interesting. And she has made it. She was in third-rate acting, and she's now a global icon. That isn't success, and she wanted it. She said to her father when she was a young girl, I just want to be famous on the red carpet, and she's made it. But I think on the way, what she's done is damaging. And that's what the book does. It tells the story of a girl who came from a broken family, who struggled very hard, and is, in her terms, has made it.
Lady C's defiance has become a rallying cry for critics tired of seeing dissent silenced. Her words, "Let him sue me," weren't just a jab, they were a challenge to drag the evidence into public view. Legal experts say defamation cases often force plaintiffs to reveal private records. In this case, that could include the very birth documents Lady C and Bauer are questioning. With public curiosity at a fever pitch, a trial wouldn't just be news, it would be media gold. The palace's muted response only made things worse. Behind closed doors, insiders worry. In the monarchy, legitimacy is everything, and even whispers of irregularities can erode it fast.
And I'm told Meg's baby has had a total collapse. 10 tears left eye and a few on the right as well. Curled up in a ball. You'd have to have a heart of stone and not to be moved by the performance. I mean, she made Euripides look as if he didn't understand what drama was all about. Curled up in a ball. Look at all I've sacrificed for you and your family. And look at the way you've repaid me. I gave up my career for you.
Longtime royal historian warned that doubts over bloodlines have toppled dynasties before. In the age of viral headlines and TikTok detectives, even a small crack spreads like wildfire. Within hours of Lady C and Bauer's broadcast, hashtags demanding transparency went global. Fans dissected old footage of Meghan's pregnancies frame by frame. Baby bump clips that once drew laughs now fueled serious speculation. Meanwhile, Bauer attacked the Sussex brand itself, claiming financial pressures and obsession with controlling the narrative drive their polished public image. Every time a story cracks, he says, they strike back hoping fear will silence critics.
Prince Harry and Meghan lying about the Princess of Wales, Catherine. Now, ITV has announced that Prince Harry has taken part in a documentary about phone hacking. I'm just curious to know, is violating someone else's privacy really the hill Prince Harry wants to die on? I mean, has he read the pages of Spare?
Well, she's actually composed again. And never talks about it. I mean, the whole problem she found with this last Vanity Fair issue, the hustle issue, is that she couldn't control the content. And she is somebody who believes, understandably, she's got to control everything down to the last full.
Harry's legal threats may have been intended to silence critics, but instead they've poured fuel on the fire. Lady C, fearless and seasoned in royal affairs, hinted at medical timelines, private emails, and eyewitness testimony. "Sue me," she said calmly, daring Harry to bring every record into court. She has nothing to lose, no streaming deals, no public image to protect, which makes her dangerous. Now the spotlight swings back to Harry. If he backs down, critics will accuse him of hiding something. If he moves forward, he could trigger a courtroom showdown exposing everything he and Meghan worked to keep private. Every headline, clip, and viral claim chips away at control. This isn't just PR anymore. It's a royal reckoning, and the world is watching.